Do a little tour of the boat today. This morning I was working in the bow, filling all the kerfs. The kerfs were cut into the plywood to make it easier to bend, to conform to the tight turns at the bow. And as you can see here, one side was cut with the kerfs on the outside, which caused problems, and the other side was cut with the kerfs on the inside where they were supposed to be, and that worked fine. I managed to get around it by filling the kerfs on the outside. It took quite a bit of work to get them fair, but it did eventually work. I'll have to go over these ones one more time to fill a few of the small holes. I may have to grind out a few areas where I think there might be some voids. It's really hard to tell, but as you can see, it's started to do the fairing on the inside. This is the bow section. There will be a V-berth right here. I know the wife wants a queen size island berth, but that's just not going to happen, dear. Sorry. Let's move out of the V-berth area. On the starboard side, right here will be the head. So there'll be a toilet and shower and a vanity. Typical of all the TW28s. Everything forward of the main bulkhead, which is here, will be exactly the same as any other TW28, except on the port side. In this area here, we'll probably have a desk slash sewing table, as I've been instructed to build in. Will probably, beside it will be something like a highboy dresser, or maybe half drawers, half hanging locker, something like that, to give us more storage space. And we get that storage space down below because we're moving the galley up. So as you move farther back in the boat, when the decks are installed, you'll actually come up about 3 steps to enter the main cabin. And on the port side will be the main helm station, and we'll have twin forward-facing seats, pedestal seats, and that should make it a lot more comfortable for some long-range cruising, which we hope to do with the boat. On the starboard side, aft of the Lori seat, I'll call it Lori seat, it's a co-pilot seat, I guess, will be a settee and a dining table, which will run from, I guess it would probably be close to 7 feet long, and able to seat probably 4 people very comfortably. Cross back over to the port side. Behind the helm seat we'll have the galley, and right now it looks like we're going to end up with something like a 4.3 cubic foot under counter fridge, probably the double sink, and then we have a propane stove to go with it. So one of the questions or options that we have been thinking about right now is making the aft bulkhead, which runs where the turning frame is. You can see on both sides the turning frame. Normally it has a large window, a 24-inch door, and a smaller window, and we're thinking about opening it up almost to a picnic style boat, where the main cabin and the cockpit are wide open. And given the type of cruising that we do in fresh water along the canals and stuff, that's a viable option. For now, we would certainly make a canvas enclosure with plastic windows to be able to see through it for foul weather. We'll probably also enclose the cockpit with plastic windows and screens as well. Lori's sewn those all herself. She did them refit or retrofit on our last boat, and they turned out really well. So she definitely has talent. That's why I keep her around. The cockpit will be fairly deep, probably, again, I think it's about 7 feet deep, and probably where I'm standing right now, it's about probably almost 7.5 feet wide. So by the time we get the cap rails and furniture built into it, it will be a bit smaller. But looking over my dirty workbench, you'll see the transom, and that's where I was just doing some very rough filleting. They'll all have to be done again. I'll go over them with the sander once they're set up. But there was a fairly large gap at the bottom of the transom where it meets the bottom panels, so I had to make sure I filled all those voids and tucked them full of goop. And I've run out of Cabosil to make my glue for the fillets, so that's on order. And that's about it. The cockpit will have probably about a 2/3 hard top on it, and the back third will be open for fishing and making it easier to get on and off the boat, etc. So that's the tour of the boat and an update so far. Thanks for looking in. Bye.